got a call from this very successful entrepreneur. And he called me and said, hey, I'm having some issues with my business. I would like to see if you could help me. So I sat down with the entrepreneur. We're having a conversation. And John was telling me how successful he was in the past and how great his company was. But everything that he has built in the past, the systems, process, the team, it was not working. All the process that got him here was not allowing him to go to the next level. And you could hear the pain and the frustration he was having because he said, hey, I used to do this and used to bring me all these clients and now it's not bringing me clients. Or I used to hire people with these capabilities and they were amazing and now they could not really get things done. And he was having all these doubt and really doubting himself if he was the right person leading the company. He really didn't know what to do. And he was having a really, really painful situation because he felt that everything he was doing was right and nothing was working. And because all these things were not working, the company started having a lot of cash flow problems, a lot of rotation. People that have been in the company for years were leaving out of the blue and just saying, hey, I'm going to go to a different company, I'm going to go to my next level. And most importantly, the culture they have built, this amazing culture that everyone wants to work at, it kind of got toxic and people were having all these struggles and issues and fighting against team members. And it was very frustrating to go to this place of work. And when I started the conversation with John, John was feeling really bad because he felt he was very, very unique, that he's the one that made all this trouble. And I said, hey, you're seeing the problem through a very short lens. And if you widen it up, you're going to be able to see that it's very common for entrepreneurs. That sometimes things that were working 3 months, 6 months ago, today they're not working, or what got them to this stage will not take you to the rest or the next stage. As the way I was seeing John's pain, I was reflecting a lot in my pain and my story and where I went. My first company was super, super successful. We grew it significantly, thousands of employees, operations in several countries, and then were able to sell it. And then I did my second company. I was believing that I was an amazing entrepreneur, that it was going to be very easy for me to make my second company. And it was a big failure. And after having a great success and then a big failure, it obligated me to really make an analysis of what worked and what I did wrong the second time. And by the way, I had a really rough time because I lost all the money that I had built on the first one. And I gained a lot of weight. I was having a lot of issues with my wife and my kids. And I really got to challenge myself and really thinking and question myself. If I was really an entrepreneur, if it was for me and all that. So I had probably 3 to 6 months that were very rough. And my conclusion coming after that was saying, I need to figure out what works. But most importantly, I made it my life purpose to make sure it never happens again to any other entrepreneur. And what really makes a great leader? And you being an entrepreneur, a CEO, or a leader, or a C-level executive, you're leading a company, you're leading a team through a change, through a process, through an escalation, or a place to be better. I really believe entrepreneurs are the engine that moves and improves the world. Every time we're doing something, you get an entrepreneur that says, hey, I could do this better, or there's this problem or this pain in the world, and I'm going to figure out how to do this better, how to do this simpler, how to do this more productive or easier, and just comes with new technology, new ways of thinking, and improves something. There's a systematical and replicable things that you could implement, that you could do in your business to be able to be more successful. So that obligates me to ask myself, if I'm a good leader, if I'm a good entrepreneur, if I'm a good CEO, if I'm the CEO my company deserves at the moment, if I have the tools, the techniques, I know what exactly I need to do to be able to scale my company. And that has been a question and a subject that has been haunting me for the last 20 years. To be an entrepreneur on your own is really, really hard. It's hard enough to be an entrepreneur, and going alone is much harder. So you have to have this tribe, and for me, it's been EO, and now I've been a member of YPO for the last 5 years, and both tribes have been amazing to help me go to the next level as a leader. And the last thing that I've learned is every problem or opportunity, as I shared before, someone else went through them. But most of them, someone already wrote a methodology, a book or a system, did a course or something, and can walk you through the process. And here's where delivered practice comes, and it has changed the way I run my business. Remember, Malcolm Gladwell gave us in his book Outliers that if you do something for 10,000 hours, you're going to do great. Yeah, but you could do something wrong for 10,000 hours and still do it wrong. you need to do deliberate practice. Then someone guides you to the process on how you do that right. And that's the methodologies that I realize they're everywhere in the world, in books, methodologies, coaches, mentors, other entrepreneurs. And instead of me having to reinvent the wheel, I just had to figure out who is the expert in the field or who has gone through that same issue, and then get some guidance and then follow deliberately or practice what they're recommending in a deliberate way, and I was going to get out of the problem much, much faster. So let me go back to John and the pain and the confusion John was having. And I've been in John's shoes many, many times. I've been having the same doubt, I've been having the same questions, and probably you're going through the same, or you have gone in the past, or you're probably going to go through the same issues in the future. What makes a great leader? Am I a great leader? Are you a great leader? And whenever I have conversations with entrepreneurs, we all believe we're unique and what's happening in our life is very unique to us. No. I've been an entrepreneur for 24 years. I've been an investor in other companies, entrepreneurs, for 22 years. I've been a CEO coach for 15, and then through Growth Institute, we have helped 11,000 companies in over 70 countries around the world to be able to scale. So our perspective has been much wider and be able to realize what works and what doesn't work for most entrepreneurs, and really be able to understand the steps of the puzzle or the piece of the puzzle that you have to put together to really take your company to the next level.